Hi there, it's Medusa, and welcome to my review for Ashes to Ashes Season 3, Episode 8, aka the finale. There will be spoilers from now on, so if you haven't seen any of it, go watch it now, because I will just spoil everything for you. This is also not really a review, to be honest. It's more of a discussion and my opinions and what I loved, what I didn't, and just my overall view in the whole show. So yeah, thanks for watching. Season 3 concludes with the revelation that they are all dead and in purgatory. It was really clever and interesting, but does not show, in my opinion, why Alex Drake was shot in the first place. I always assume that Drake was shot by Dayton as he remembers her being there, or some sort of weird thing like that, but apparently she was never actually in 1981. It was all the purgatory, as it was not real. I guess you could argue that Dayton was out for revenge against the Prices for presumably causing him to be arrested subsequently after the car bombing, but that doesn't really explain why he cared that much, considering she hadn't they didn't have any kind of connection. It would make sense if they'd explained it, but I think they should have really explained it better. The revelation that they were all dead was very sad to watch, and the videotapes Jim Keats, aka the Devil, left were absolutely gut-wrenchingly terrible. Watching Shaz, Ray and Chris see their death was heartbreaking. It was heart-wrenching. It was so sad. Especially Shaz's. Oh, it was so sad. I personally can forgive the Drayton plot holes. I don't really mind. I mean, I'm sure they can all be kind of explained via logic, but I wish they'd kind of explained it more. The only thing I wasn't happy about is not because it didn't make sense or didn't give emotional closure, but because it was probably the saddest and most disappointing, not in a writer's perspective, but as a fan of a character's perspective, shock of the season, that Alex Drake was dead from the bullet back in the present day and never got to see our daughter Molly again. I felt like we got enough. There's nothing you can do about accept death from the others, like Shaz. She's had her whole life ahead of her too. Chris and Ray, they didn't deserve to die either. Neither did Jean. But they just got to accept it. That's what happened. But I feel like because we saw so much of Alex's struggle and a coma, there was a chance she could live. So I feel like I was really disappointed that she didn't. I felt like we got enough. Alex Drake's desperation after 3 seasons and her desire to get home to her daughter, especially since we saw her technically beat the infection in season 2 when she stops the guy, I think it's called Martin Summers, from doing his plan. I don't know what. Don't know, but however, as you well know, TV shows are a form of art, and of course, especially things like this, I think they are definitely 100% open to interpretation, and I reckon, based on all the evidence in the 3 seasons and character arcs, that when she went through the pub, she woke up from her coma and lived a full life, because I think that would make sense, because one, Jean won't know everything. And I feel like it was a sort of almost like Once Upon a Time. Alright, spoilers for Once Upon a Time, season 5 here. But when Hook goes he goes and sees Zeus to go to the afterlife, he gets then sent back. And I don't know, there was something about the way Nelson, the landlord, was kind of looking, that it kind of made me feel like it was a kind of sad look, but I almost feel like she's going back. Because, the pub was the way out of there. It was the way out of the purgatory. But they didn't say that, who's to say that at 9:07 a nurse didn't enter Alex's hospital room and resuscitate her, causing her to permanently be stuck in the present again, leave the coma world, and unlike her colleagues, return to the real world. But so that is exactly what happened. She did get resuscitated at 9:07 or something. I mean, she said it's a second, second away from death, second away from life. She was probably a second away from death, but then she went second away from life. And anyone who doesn't think that is completely wrong. Alex Drake is fine. She's in life. She's completely having a great time. She's with her daughter and they're in real life. It's all right. Okay, deal with it. I suppose I didn't predict anything really that was going to happen in this series. I didn't predict that in season 1 it would be her dad that would blow up the car. I thought it was Evan. I so thought it was Evan because he was so nice and just too nice, but he just generally was sort of nice actually, but I just thought he's the one that did it because he was jealous. He thought maybe that the dad was just driving on his own or something. But no, it was oh, that scene though, that moment when the dad, he changes into from her father to the clown that she keeps on seeing. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely terrifyingly brilliant. So perfectly done. And just the kind of CGI of it was just so good. And just so scary. And that clown, it was her kind of the death kind of thing, who was her dad. It was so brilliant. Like, it was such a brilliant twist, and it was so smart. I thought season 1 was great as well. I just think, personally, the ending that I didn't predict that, I like that twist, but the ending that I was kind of wanting from the show was, even though that it was like never going to happen this way, my ending that I wanted was that it really was the past, meaning Drayton knew Alex, like, because of what Alex had done, like her kind of coming at him from jail and stuff, her being very, I hate you, Drayton, I'm going to stop you. So when he does finally get out of prison in the future or whatever, he gets, that's why he calls her name specifically. But I know you could say he called her name specifically because he must have known that she worked there and she's the child, but, I don't know. And I think that this would have been a better progression. And that, and it, like, a result of what happened in the past. Drayton wants her dead because of what happened in the past. I also really, really hoped, after seeing, I know it was Martin Summers, the guy, but in season 2 opening, we see a man in a hospital bed, and obviously it's the guy, but you can just see in the background, the news is on, and they found Alex Drake, in that place where she's been shot. I was so hoping that the person, actually in the hospital bed was a very old, aging Gene Hunt, who, seeing the date, makes sure an ambulance finds Alex Drake in time before the damage is irreparable, and she can never escape the coma world. This would leave the show with Molly and Alex reuniting, and her confronting Evan about her family's past before living the rest of her life. And I feel like, and it would also kind of make, Gene did the right thing, I guess. It would make his kind of arc, I think, like, even though I liked his arc in the thing, but I feel like that was my perfect ending. Or even the world is real, the coma world is real, but something, because the reality seeping in or whatever. And it was something that Drayton said. It was like him saying, like, when he was about to shoot Alex, it was almost like him saying, like, oh, he'll be annoyed at this or something. And I guess he was talking about, maybe Evan or somebody else. But to me, I feel like it would have been cooler if it was Jean that he was talking about. And yeah, it was Jean that saves her. That would have been so cool. But yeah, it's alright, because remember what I said? Alex Drake is alive, she's living, she's fine. Anyway, I absolutely love this show, and it was fantastic. I love the music, I love the acting. Oh, I love Keely Hawes so much, she's so cool. And I thought Alex Drake was a fantastic character. I thought they were all fantastic characters. And I feel like it deserves so much more recognition. It's such a great show. I haven't watched Life on Mars. I will watch it. And I know people be like, oh my goodness, but you'll never understand what happens. You really can watch Ashes to Ashes with just basic knowledge of what happens in life on Mars. Because if you just, you just read the, the what the show's about thing, and you'll find out, and you'll know exactly basically what's happened, because it is kind of like a different story. I suppose you'll be more, like, you'll know the characters better, I suppose, but I don't know, I just absolutely loved it, and I really enjoyed the characters. I liked a lot of them. I loved the crimes in it. It was really good. It never felt boring. It never felt, unentertaining. I think it's such a great series, and you should go watch it. I think they're going to do another series. I hope they bring Sam Tyler and Alex Drake back. Obviously, they'll bring Gene Hunt back, but I hope they bring them all back, and they have, like, all three of them have a battle against Jim Keats, aka the Devil. I know it won't happen, but I want it to happen. But yeah, I just, you know, it's open to interpretation. I feel like I'm going to accept the ending, because I was sobbing last night. I was devastated. I knew it would happen, but I was devastated. But maybe it's going to be a bit like Penny Dreadful, that in which it takes me a while to appreciate it and kind of understand the kind of, I don't have to like the ending, but I respect it. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.